Hello, this is an executive summary and overview of a complaint I'll be making with the New York Attorney General's office against Audi Brooklyn, who, led me to believe that I was buying a fine vehicle, but in fact they sold me a wreck that they had always intended to send to auction. So the story goes, May 2025, I noticed this vehicle online. It was a 2007 Lexus RX350 with less than 44,000 miles on it. And so I was calling them, I was talking with them, and early in the conversations, the salesman Mark Nipanishi told me that the vehicle suddenly would not start, it needed a new battery, and so the used car sales manager had decided to send the vehicle to wholesale, or what I call auction. Now that should have been the end of everything. However, he still continued to talk to me in order to sell the vehicle to me. Very, very unethical. They had always intended to send this vehicle to auction. And the company later installed a new battery and the vehicle started again. Now, he never told me the many flaws on the vehicle, even when I had asked for them. So this is an email that I'd sent to him. Please do a video of the vehicle starting, then the engine idling, and then during a short drive. Now, I got one video back. I did not get 3 videos back. Also, send some pictures of any flaws that are not in the existing photographs. From what I've heard, one of the front fenders has some blemishes. So, well, he responded and he sent, a few pictures. He sent 5 pictures. But all of these are of the body. And, it's not, again, I'm asking, show me the flaws. But it didn't happen, right? So I'd also asked for a video. Asked for 3 videos, actually. He sent 1 video back, and I won't cover this here. I have another video to cover, to display that and make some commentary on it. But again, it was just of the body. It wasn't of the flaws that it was there. Now, again, the salesman, he led me to believe it was a fine vehicle, that all the vehicle needed was a battery and a belt. And he lied a number of times. And he said, everybody wants to buy this vehicle. I have to hide the keys. Which, if anyone actually saw this vehicle, they wouldn't have bought it. They would have rejected it outright. So anyway, given the deception and the fraud, and I decided to buy the vehicle. $1,280 with this. You can see a close-up of the purchase agreement here. Or sorry, $12,080 for the purchase price. I then had to have it shipped from Brooklyn, New York to Fargo, North Dakota, halfway across the continent. $1,650 total price, just under $14,000, $13,730, and then it arrived. And look at this. This was the cargo mat. It was full of oil. Never mind, they never cleaned the vehicle. They had never detailed the vehicle. They hadn't even cleaned the vehicle. This vehicle was filthy. They had always intended to send the vehicle to auction. The vehicle had also been in an accident. Surprise! You can see the dent in the grill guard here. You can see the paint coming off the bumper cover. Another picture of that. The hood was scraping against the grill guard. The grill guard had been pushed in. In addition to that, there was major noise coming from the engine compartment. This was coming from the water pump, and it wasn't just at the belt. It was a major component failure, and not only was it making noise, there was also coolant leaking out of the water pump. On the other side of the vehicle, the transmission seal was shot, and transmission fluid was leaking, out of the transmission. You can see what the pools of fluid it made on my garage floor here. On the right hand side you can see the coolant leak, and on the left hand side you can see the transmission fluid leak. In addition to that, there was major problems with the bushings. If you just inched forward, the suspension would make some very, very strange creaking. When I say inching, I do mean inching. You could take your foot off the brake, let it move forward a few inches, and then put your foot on the brake again, and there would be coming from the suspension. Just getting into the vehicle, putting your weight on the door sill to get into the vehicle, again, you would have some major creaking going on. And if that wasn't enough, we also had there's some major electrical problems going on, in the vehicle as well. They'd put a new battery in May 2025, this battery only lasted till September, and it was dead as a doornail. It was not able to be recharged. It was less than 4 volts. So I put another battery in, and that only lasted until December 2025. And again, that was dead as a doornail. So there's something very, very wrong going on in the electrical system. All the technicians I spoke to, it's a total mystery to them as to why batteries would be failing, so frequently. So I'd taken the vehicle to Corwin Toyota to get an estimate on the mechanical problems, and you can see just the suspension alone, you're over $3,000. To deal with the water pump, you're looking at over $1,700. To deal with the axle seal and the transmission, over $700. Altogether, $62, $65, $33. And I'd also taken the vehicle to Corwin Collision to see what it would cost to fix all the damages there, and we're looking at just under 4,000, $3,953. Altogether, that's actually over $10,000 worth of repairs, and that does not include the electrical problems. And I'm guesstimating that's going to be, probably a good $1,000. So probably over $11,000 in damages. And so I'm going to say, please take a look at the other videos. I mean, you'll get a better idea as to how bad the vehicle is. You can hear the creaking, you can see more detail there, and a little bit of explanation that I've done there. And I've taken a long time to create them. And so, in summary, Audi Brooklyn engaged in lies of omission, deception, misrepresentation, and fraud, and I want compensation.